Kung gusto nyong makontrol ang recoil ng 9mm, mag-practice kayo sa 45. We've begun discussing the realities of shooting, whether it be for sports or self-defense. Let's concentrate more on self-defense kasi sabi natin noon, magpakatotoo tayo. Many of us purchase a firearm for the specific purpose of self-defense. Yun ang i-discuss natin ngayon. Now, along those lines, let's talk about gun myths. In the roughly 3 decades that I've been in the shooting community, marami na rin ako narinig na gun myths or mga maling akala. Favorite ko dito yung tactical shooting instructor telling a student na kung gusto mong makontrol yung recoil ng 9mm, mag-practice daw siya sa 45. Ang laking kalokohan, di ba? Why is it such a stupid suggestion? I can't describe it in a more subtle way, pero talagang kabobohan. Before we get into that, let's talk about recoil. Now, recoil, whether the actual impulse of the gun recoiling back after each shot. Meron din yung sinasabing felt recoil, which is the perception of the shooter mismo na kumakaltag yung baril sa kamay niya. The reality of the matter is all guns recoil. Doesn't matter if it's a 45, if it's a 357 Magnum, if it's a 9mm or 38 Special. All these guns recoil. Even the 22 LR. Lahat yan may recoil yan. Pati nga airsoft, which we have here, ang tawag dito, blowback pistol. Meaning, after each shot, sa cycle yung action niya. Chambering another BB, and firing the next round. So these airsoft guns were designed to give a shooter a simulation of actual recoil. So pati ito na kung tutuusin ay laruan, meron pa rin siyang recoil. Huwag tayo masyadong concerned sa recoil because the reality of the matter is recoil, it's physics. It cannot be totally eliminated. Another rule of thumb is the higher the caliber, for example, a 45 or a 40, will recoil more than a 38 Special or a 9mm. Totoo yun. Okay, isa pa. The longer the barrel length of the handgun, the less recoil will be produced. So, ibig sabihin, full-size pistols like a 1911, 2011 will recoil a little less than probably a commander size or yung officer size na compact. Conversely, even with a 9mm, a compact 9mm will recoil more than a full-size, and more importantly, those teeny tiny pocket pistols will recoil significantly more than full-size pistols like this one. Again, the longer the barrel, the less recoil. The shorter the barrel, the more recoil. Lalo pa yung sa mga pocket pistols. So, let's not bother with eliminating recoil totally. Instead, people need to learn how to properly handle and grip a pistol para maganda yung shooting experience nila when it comes to felt recoil. Now, going back to the 45 and 9mm subject. Again, why do I say it's so stupid? A 45 is a 45, a 9mm is a 9mm. It can be explained in those simple terms. Okay, isa pa. Let's look at the ergonomics. In the first place, how many pistols, how many handgun platforms can handle 45 ACP cartridge? Most popular, especially dito sa Pilipinas, is yung 1911 platform. So most likely, pag sinabi nilang mag-practice sa 45, you will be practicing on a 1911 platform. Now, pag sinabi namang 9mm, there are lots of 9mm models. Wala naman tayong baril. So, just look at the difference between a 1911 and Sig Sauer P226. There are significant differences between these two pistols. Number one is yung tinatawag na manual of arms. Now, a 1911 pistol is single action, meaning kahit anong pull mo ng trigger, the hammer will not fall. So in order for the hammer to fall or for the gun to fire, kailangan nakakasa yung hammer niya before you can actually break the shot. Next, kapag naka-up yung hammer, this is the hammer in the up position. The 1911 has manual safeties or yung thumb safety kung tawagin. Meaning, when the thumb safety is engaged, hindi na naman puputok yung barrel. But with the thumb safety disengaged, putok na naman. Third, even with the thumb safety disengaged, as long as you don't depress the grip safety, again, nothing will happen. Pero pag pinindot mo yung grip safety combined with pulling the trigger, gun will fire. So, dun pa lang, ibang-iba na ang 1911, especially with the current striker-fired pistols, which mainly operate with the pull of a trigger. Now, let's look at the representation nitong P226. Pasensya na, wala tayong actual. The P226 operates on a double action mechanism. Ibig sabihin, if you pull the trigger, this thing will fall. Similar to a revolver, all you need to do is kalabit lang ng trigger and this gun will fire, assuming na merong round in the chamber. Wala siyang manual safety. In this case, iba rin ang tactile controls ng P226. Slightly different configuration ng grip. Wala siyang beaver tail safety. So kahit na hindi mo pindutin yung backstrap kung tawagin, or kaya mong i-drop yung hammer. So that in itself is a glaring difference. Other differences are slightly more subtle, kagaya ng tinatawag na bore axis, meaning axis of the barrel in its correlation with the grip or of the forearm. Kung titignan nyo maigi, medyo mataas yung bore axis ng P226. Compare natin sa bore axis ng 1911 or 2011. Physically, mas aligned yung barrel nyo with the trigger finger. That's the simplest way to demonstrate or to illustrate the bore axis. Anong benefit ng mababa na bore axis? One is the low bore axis will help you in instinctive aiming of the gun. So notice na with a 1911 platform, mas dikit yung trigger finger ko, mas aligned siya, mas parallel siya with the barrel kumpara sa P226. Ito yung aking trigger finger. Nandito yung bore or yung barrel. So, mas mababa. Sa ergonomics pa lang, kitang-kita na natin why it's a dumb advice to give a potential shooter or a beginner na mag-practice sa 45 para ma-handle ang 9mm. Walang sense, di ba? Kung sa handling at handling pa lang din. Now look at it this way. Ang realidad, ang average person, if at all, can purchase a firearm, probably isa lang ang kaya niyang bilhin. Then therefore, kung ano man yung abot kaya ng budget niya, yun lang ang mabibili niya na firearm. So, alam naman natin na napakahirap ng access even in the shooting range. Kung magpa-practice ka if you rent the handguns, yung house guns kung tawagin sa firing range. Not everybody will have the pistol that you want or the model, the configuration that you want. So, wala kang idea kung masusubukan mo yung mga Glocks, yung mga CZ, or yung mga Sig Sauer. So, if you only had one gun, imagine, ito lang yung kaya ng budget ko halimbawa, magkaiba naman siya from this one. So, ano yung sense na mag-practice ako with a 1911 when eventually I will end up buying a Sig or a Beretta or even a Glock, 'di ba? Magkakaiba lahat nun. Therefore, even if I master halimbawa yung handling ng 45, it will not necessarily translate to how I will handle any other pistol regardless kung ano yung caliber. So, ang meaning ng statement na mag-practice ka sa 45 para ma-handle mo ang 1911 is para mo na ring sinabing mag-practice kang mag-drive ng bus para ma-drive mo yung BIOS mo, 'di ba? Kumbaga, if you want to practice on a 45, practice with a 45 because that's what you have. If you want to practice with a 9mm, practice it because that's what you have or yun ang gusto mong bilhin kung wala ka pang gamit. My point here really is kung ano yung baril mo, kung ano yung gusto mong baril, yun ang practicein mo. Tignan nyo na lang yung kagaguhan na I own this one. Halimbawa, I own this one. It's in 9mm. Pupunta pa ako sa range para mag-rent ng ganito para pumutok ng 45, which is economically stupid kasi unang-una, mas mahal ang bala ng 45. Pangalawa, rerentahan ko pa yung baril. So, ang laking kabobohan, di ba? Where is the wisdom in that particular statement? Wala eh. wala akong makitang wisdom doon sa statement na yun. Purely kabobohan lang talaga siya. If you had something like a 45, if you had a 1911, then practice with your 1911. If you had something like a 9mm double action pistol, then that's what you practice with. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Huwag na tayong maglokohan. Huwag na tayong maggaguhan. If somebody comes to you and tells you, I want to master my 9mm, then make an effort to teach that person how to handle his own gun. Hindi yung para mong sinabing bumili ka ng 2 baril Bumili ka ng isang 9mm at bumili ka pa ng separate na 45 para mag-practice ka sa 45 pero ang gagamitin mo 9mm. Ang gago talaga, ang bobo talaga, 'di ba? What if sanay kang mag-practice with your 45 pero hindi mo naman pala siya kini-carry, ang kikerry mo yung 9. Remember yung difference ng the 1911 configuration has this, whereas most 9mm pistols don't. So what if for some reason kinailangan niyang mag-pull ng trigger or nagre-reholster, naglalagay sa bag, assuming na 1911 yung dala niya pero ganito pala dala niya. For some reason, nakakalabit niya, di putok. Simply because nakatanim na sa utak niya. Nagpa-practice siya 45. Pero 9mm yung dala niya. Magkaibang configuration. Then therefore, akala niya pareho pa rin yung handling. Boom! So, if you're a beginning shooter, medyo ingat-ingat ka kung kanino ka humihingi ng advice. Marami naman dyan mahuhusay at matitino. Remember, the reality is an average person might only be able to get just one. And therefore, that's what he's going to practice with. Alangan naman bibili ako nito. Isa na nga lang yung kaya kong bilhin. Maghahangad pa ako ng pangalawa para lang magamit ko ito. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, that's been the long and the short of it. This has been Absabando for Manila Sentinel Raw. Stay away from idiots. In this case, marami-rami na rin akong narinig na mga kulog. These airsoft pistols were designed to give the shooter a simulation of let's not get wrapped around the axle. Kundi aso kulog. Anyway,